What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story. Subscribe if you're new to the fam. Hit that notification bell for future uploads. Let's get right into it. Friends, a word in my opinion, people should not use loosely. Some individuals feel like just because they know a person for years, that makes them friends. But it's more to it than that. You can spend time around somebody and still only know about them what they want you to know. Whole time, it could be a hidden agenda, or it could be real friendship until someone feels played, betrayed, or just not rocking with that person anymore. We hear situations all the time of so-called homies backdooring each other or crossing each other out, but for what reasons? Some situations are so crazy, they leave speculations between everyone involved, wondering what happened and how can a brotherhood turn cold. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will discuss a case that is still a mystery. According to sources, at the time, Robert Coltrane and Brian Trotter were both 25 years old and up-and-coming musicians from Virginia. The men had been friends for over 10 years and built a brother-like bond, even being embraced by each other's families. Brian, who was a former Virginia high school athlete, was trying to make it in the hip-hop world and went by the name Kent Won't Stop. The two men met playing sports together and started promoting their music together. Things would get crazy when on Saturday, October 17th, 2020, Robert drove his silver Acura to Brian's home in Triangle, Virginia, not too far from DC, where Brian lived with his father. Later, Brian's father would say that day Robert seemed distant and nervous, as they always would talk, but this day he was quiet. Brian informed his father him and Robert were going to drive to DC to take some pictures to help promote their music. Not thinking it was nothing out the ordinary, Brian's father told him, "See you later," and the two friends left. But after a period of time, relatives noticed Brian didn't call and never came back home. The family started to call Robert, asking was Brian still with him, in which he replied he dropped him off in DC and picked up another friend, and haven't heard from him since. But as the days turned into weeks and Robert's story changed, Brian's family felt as though something wasn't right and put out missing person posts on social media and posters all in their city, asking for help finding Brian. But allegedly by this time, Robert was heading down south, still denying he knew anything about where Brian was at. Then on a Sunday afternoon, the Florida Highway Patrol was dispatched to a vehicle crash on the Palmetto Expressway near Northwest 154th Street. The car was a silver Acura that had slid and hit something because of the slick roads from the rain that day. Authorities towed the car to a parking lot of a local mall, when allegedly Robert asked authorities could he retrieve some items from the car. But they became suspicious when allegedly Robert removed a Glock gun case. Authorities also noticed a foul smell and flies buzzing around the trunk of the car. They looked inside the trunk, and to their surprise, it was a decomposing body wrapped in a piece of fabric. Allegedly, Robert stated to police it was the body of a male, and it was unfortunately confirmed to be the body of his friend, 25-year-old Brian Trotter. As an autopsy was performed, it was stated Brian had been shot multiple times, and one shell casing was found in the car. Also a Glock 45, which they linked to being a murder weapon. But it still wasn't any clear motive or what happened, as Robert refused to talk to Miami homicide detectives. But he did call Brian's sister and apologized, stating the hit happened in Virginia, but still not stating a reason. Both states, Virginia and Florida, charged Robert with multiple charges, including murder and transporting a corpse. Robert was denied bail and was said to be eventually extradited back to Virginia. He is innocent until proven otherwise. There's no recent updates, and still no one knows exactly what happened. Rest in peace to Brian. I send my prayers and condolences to the family. It has to be tough knowing someone you love and called a friend allegedly is the reason that your family member are gone. More to this story, Pay attention to your circle. They could definitely hurt you. Be careful who you hang with and call friends. People change and relationships change. And a so-called homie could be the reason for your life being over. So remember, we gotta succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, first and foremost, rest in peace, Brian. I definitely send my prayers and condolences to the family. That gotta be a hard pill to swallow, knowing that somebody you took in as family, somebody who was close to your relative for over 10 years, is allegedly responsible for taking them out the game. Now, Robert kept his mouth shut. He ain't say what happened. He ain't tell nobody what happened. But he did call Brian's sister. I guess he had respect for her and apologized and said he was sorry and said that the hit happened in Virginia. But he never said what happened. He never said if they got into an argument, if they got into an altercation. And a lot of people were saying, like, why would he ride with the body all the way to Florida? You know, when you riding through these southern areas, it's a lot of places he could have dumped them at. So a lot of people were saying, man, they don't know exactly why would he do that. You feel me? Was he in his right state of mind or not? But anything could happen. It could have been an altercation. You know, they both was musicians. It could have been some kind of jealousy there. You feel me? Because I actually checked out Brian's music on YouTube, and bro was decent. You feel me? He had thousands of views. He was doing his thing. So at the end of the day, man, stuff happens. You know, friendships is only as solid as the time we in. What I mean by that, when everything good, everybody on the same level, everybody happy. But if you start elevating, or if you start getting to another level, you feel me? Some people feel like you acting like you better than them. People feel like you advancing faster than them. You feel me? And that hate and that envy be real. And somebody will knock you off just for them reasons. A friend, a so-called friend, will take you out the game if they feel like you changing or you switching up. You feel me? But at the end of the day, man, it's sad. You know, I don't think Robert got no time yet. I don't know if he's still in Florida, because he was charged in Florida, but he also facing charges in Virginia where they said it happened at. You feel me? But at this time, he still ain't said no motive. He ain't said nothing about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this one. Be sure to leave your comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Love, fam. I'm out.